Jaylon Smith down and getting finished off. That would be a huge loss for the Irish. They've battled injuries all year. With Nick Watkins starting for the first time today, they've started 37 different players on offense and defense. And you hope it's nothing serious with Smith, not just for today, but there is a young man with a very bright future. We talk about first-round picks in this game, potential #1 overall picks. There are a lot of NFL people here today. I talked to one personnel man who said he thinks Jaylon Smith is the best, player in the draft, the upcoming draft. He's not.
Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I guess I probably have more time during the day because I wouldn't be shooting videos. Well, we've got the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies going on, and we've got Morton Anderson just went off. Okay, there's a reason why you don't hear kickers talk a whole lot, but props to him for being the all-time points leader in the NFL. But Jason Taylor's speech actually hits home with me. You know, at the end where he's talking about hard work, taking care of, being the best, is something I try and strive for in my life. I know that I'm a cabinet maker, carpenter, construction worker, but I strive to each day be better than I was the day before. Strive to be the best that I can be. I approach YouTube the same way. And those of you who have been here for a year or more know that this channel has come a long ways from where it was. And by the way, I'm trying out some new equipment that I hope to be using at the at training camp next week. And I've been busy as can be trying to get together, get everything taken care of at home, get everything taken care of at work. I am exhausted. I'm going to be getting up early in the morning, going down the red brick house, putting that door on and everything else. So I stay on the go. I stay consistently pounding it, trying to be the best. My goal, be the best carpenter in the world, best cabinet maker, to be the best YouTuber out there. Every day I try and do one more thing to make it a little bit better, because if I take a little bit better here this day, a little bit better this day, a little bit better this day, all of a sudden you put those days together and you've got something special. You've gotten changed. You've gotten better at your craft. It's become easier. But anything worthwhile never comes easy. It's always through hard work. So here we are with Hall of Fame weekend. We've got a few players on our team that, definitely, like Jason Witten, we know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt on that one. We've got other players that have the opportunity, careers long enough, that they can get there too. One person who's handicapped in this, that probably his odds would have been better had he not gotten injured his last game in college, is Jaylon Smith. I kind of understand and have things in common with Jaylon Smith. The last scrimmage I had in high school, the last 2 minutes of the game, I'll never forget. Running down the field on punt, I had outside contain. I had a scout from UVA that wanted to make me a fullback who was there scouting the game. Had a great game. And I remember going outside and turning back in and seeing the punt returner with his hands there and the ball go right between his hands, hits his knee and starts rolling towards me. In my mind, it's all like at this moment still, slow motion. The ball's rolling towards me. And I'm thinking I'm picking this up and I'm going into the end zone. And right as my fingertips touched the football, I got hit in the shoulder. And this leg, my left knee, went over sideways. Tore my ACL. And at that time, it was the infancy of scoping. Went to the hospital. They took x-rays. They say, oh, we don't see any broken bones. See your doctor on Monday. Again, we don't have sports medicine like we do today. Went to my regular family doctor on Monday, and they said, oh, you sprained your knee. keep it ice, stay off of it for a few days, and come back and see us. Okay. But being a young person, I wanted to play football still. I was working out the next day. In fact, I was trying to get back on the field. But it wasn't getting any better. So after a week, I went back to the doctor. She sent me to a specialist, Dr. Brent Ains, actually one of the pioneers in orthopedic surgery. And immediately he said, "You've got a screwed up knee. We need to operate on it as soon as possible." 2 days later, operated on it. And at that time, the scope, like I said, was new. When they went in, they said my ACL looked like 2 mop ends. But they weren't able to do reconstructions like they do now. Basically, they would have to go through, like on this knee, and just literally just cut it open, do the surgery on it, and it's basically a 2-year window of recovery. But anyway, make a long story short, they just cleaned it up. And he said, after they finished, you might be able to play the last couple of games of the season with a brace on it, but your leg is not going to be stable. And I said, well, I also do track and field. I throw shot put, discus, I long jump and things. And he's like, well, you might be able to throw shot put, but discus and long jumping and all that, you can forget about it. And this is what I have in common with Jaylon Smith. It's one of those things that when somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm out to prove them wrong. And I will work my ass off to get together. Now, if you don't know what drop foot is, here's a little clip to explain exactly what he's got. And the brace that he has to wear. This is actually my knee brace that I have that helps my knee. It's actually really good because when my knee gets really bad, if I wear this, it takes the load off of my leg. But I don't like wearing it because it's kind of cumbersome. And wearing long pants, you got to wear almost like hammer pants if you're wearing long pants. So I try to use it as little as possible. But while I get this brace on, you guys take a look at what drop foot is and what Jaylon Smith is actually dealing with. You guys are still here? Okay. Watch the clip. I'll have it on by the time you get
The criteria for that particular brace is the fact that the patient has a flaccid drop foot. Even when asked to hold the foot dorsiflex, the patient is unable to do so. There's no eversion strength at all as they attempt to push against my hand. And in this case, very little inversion strength, just a little. Fairly good plantar flexion strength though, but no spasticity. Here is the same patient with drop foot deformity walking with and without the Richie Dynamic Assist brace. And it is clear the brace has the ability to control the drop foot deformity at the ankle, but also addresses the compensation which is seen at the knee level.
Okay, so I got my brace on, and that's what Jaylon Smith is dealing with right now. And that foot, basically, it's coming back, but we don't know how much it's going to come back. So the problem is being able to pull it up. It's limp. So that brace that he has will actually help to pull it back up so he can push off of it. How well is it going to heal? Nobody knows. It may be as far as it's going to go. Now for me, my ACL's gone. It was 2 mop ends, basically, is what the doctor told me it looked like. They just trimmed it up and said, okay, it's too soon to do an ACL surgery because the scope is literally in its infancy, and the best thing to do is wait a few years. But if you go to therapy, your leg is strong enough that you might be able to play the last couple of games of the season. So right now I'm dealing with a knee that's completely shot. But the good thing about this is, with this brace, I actually have more mobility with it than I have without it. And it's kind of interesting because there's actually a dial on here, so that way you can actually twist and straighten out the leg even more. So I can definitely do more with the brace. The only problem is it's kind of bulky, and unless you're wearing hammer pants, long pants are really difficult to wear with it. So Jaylon Smith right now is definitely going to be playing with that brace on his leg. For me, what the doctor told me is if I was lucky, I might be able to play the last couple of games of the season. But I'm one of those people, when you tell me I can't do something, I'm out to prove you wrong. 2 days after the surgery, I started physical therapy. And 2.5 weeks after having surgery, I was playing football again. True story. I ended up playing 7 games that season. He had told me I could forget about throwing shot put, discus, long jumping. I made it to state in shot put and discus. And when I got to JMU, I was running track. I wasn't playing football at first. And I was trying to become a decathlete. The only thing that stopped me was I kept breaking pole vaulting poles. And the coach had said, look, we'd like to be able to make you a decathlete, but we don't have it in the budget to keep replacing these pole vaulting poles. So that's what I see in Jaylon Smith. Jaylon Smith is chomping at the bit. He is working his ass off. And I got to love his attitude, because he's not doing the woe is me, I can't believe I got injured. He's taking the bull by the horn, so to speak, and he is kicking that bull's ass. And I know that guy is going to be out on that football field again. You watch. And he's going to be a beast. Just like Jason Taylor, undersized defensive end, persevered, worked hard. In the end, 139 sacks later and 20 miles, he's in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if Jaylon Smith has an opportunity to be there, but I guarantee you, working hard enough won't be the problem that'll keep him from being there. So I'm going to kick back right now, and I'm going to wait for Jerry Jones to come on to see what he has to say. Trying out some of the equipment here. Hopefully the sound sounds good, and hopefully when we're in Oxnard, we'll have a couple of guests over here carrying on a conversation with you guys, live streaming from the training camp. So as always, friends, I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu, and I hope you're having a great weekend. Damn, feel like a young kid again. Hello fans, Cowboy Jobu here with the Jobu Report. And look behind me, we have the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I love my job. How are you doing, ladies? Cowboy Jobu, the most interesting voodoo doll in the world.